Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good day. In a little bit, we'll start um, the workshop. Are you nervous about suffering a stroke? Um, Over the next hour, we're going to talk about 3 secrets to stop your next stroke. And um, I know that you will want to learn what the I will tell you what the 3 secrets are in the next uh, in the workshop. I will, and I'm hope that you're going to find the secrets um, both um, astounding and common sense, and maybe you're going to do them. So that's wonderful, um, and will and you want to do them. What happened to me? You may wonder what. Why do I have the credentials to come and tell you these things? Well, I can tell you a little bit about my story. Um, Way back when, over 14 years ago, I was um, working and living my life and had my wonderful family. And who would have thought that 2 days afterwards, I would be not able to speak, and I would be, um, uh, I would not be able to get out of the bed. Um, it was, um, it was the, um, it was because of the 2 strokes, and um, and you would imagine um, it was pretty straightforward, but it wasn't. Um, of course, as a veterinarian, I'm a little bit on the stubborn side. And when the first signs, um, when I experienced the first signs, I kind of ignored them. And for example, I was getting up after the first stroke. I was getting up and going to get ready to go to work, and I fell. And I thought, that's really odd. But I popped up and I just finished getting ready. And who would I would not have realized that the first stroke occurred while I was sleeping, and the second would happen. The first took out my speech center, and I didn't realize it, and I lost my speech as the day went on. And the second happened 2 days later when I was in the hospital, and that took out the whole motor function of my right side of my body. Crazy. And there I was. My wife wanted the doctors to help me, and she was worried, and so was I, that the next stroke would come on just like the previous 2 did. And I was scared, and she was scared, and we had to wait because it took the doctors it took them over 6 days after the first stroke hit me before they found out what uh, was going on. And I had blood clots that were causing the strokes. And they, of course, put me on blood thinners, and I'm grateful I'm still here. And we'll talk about them a little bit later. We'll talk about um, um, lots of odds that you are faced with. All right. So, why is this important? Why do we even care if we get another stroke or anything? I'm My mission is that the blood clot strokes, that some say up to 80% of strokes. Um, I'm My mission is going to be that these strokes are history. They're a thing of the past. Um, they, um, I am, I'm making my mission to um, rally other medical professionals behind me to find and change people's habits for for good. So it's a lofty goal, but it's not impossible. It's possible, and I'm going to make it probable. Yes. All right, let's go on. I'm going to tell you the disclaimer that I need to do. Because you may think or feel your condition involves a medical issue, this consulting is intended for informational purposes. It is not intended to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your medical professional before changing your diet, exercise routine, medical regime, lifestyle, or mental care, health care. An individual's experience may not represent the typical participant. Your background, education, experience, and worth ethic may differ. This presentation is used as an example and not a guarantee of success. Your results may vary. All right, let's. It's important to know that. And I'm going to invite you at the end of the presentation to come along a journey with me, and you will. I think you'll find it will be exciting. All right. One thing I want to tell you first is tell you about somebody that uh, that I find he's near and dear to me, but I want you to hear what he said about me. Just a moment.
I'm Wayne Forrest. I'm a life mastery consultant certified through the Brave Thinking Institute in LA. I'm also an international speaker, speaking on many platforms around the world. He is a man with great integrity, great discipline as well, and has a great love for people and is very passionate about making or helping people make a change for better after stroke or preventing stroke. He is a man that I would recommend for anything, and he's become a great friend over these few years. He is an incredible human being.
So that's why I have the credentials to come here and plead with you, or not plead, but ask you to listen to me and make some decisions by the end of the presentation. All right. So the intentions of this workshop is threefold. Number one is, what can I or you do to reduce the risk of your next stroke? That's what you want to ask yourself. What can I do to reduce the risk of my next stroke, or a stroke if you haven't had one? Number two, some facts about strokes. And number three secrets you want to know before you have the next stroke. All right. And who benefits from this presentation? There are four groups that this presentation is about. The first is the stroke survivors. I originally made this workshop together thinking it would be for them, but since I've found that there are other groups, uh, their loved ones, the second group, their caretakers, the third group, and the fourth group is people that are worried about having a stroke. So these four groups got together, and I'm focusing on them. And you get a gift if you stay throughout the whole presentation. And this is I call them success reports. This is a report which is the physical examination every stroke patient should know. And I put it together about 15 tests, so to speak. There are things that you can do. And in fact, you can do it every 1 month or every 3 months or every 6 months. And you can check your progress, how you're doing. All right, I want you to have that. And so please, if you will stay throughout the seminar, you'll get it. All right, and take some notes. Jim Quick is one of my mentors, so to speak. I follow him and I do what he says. He says, when we actively listen and take notes, we retain more of the information and than we can if we just sit here and listen or watch the workshop. So I'm telling you, take your pen or your pencil and your paper and write down ideas you have, notes about the seminar, and because it's really cool. When it happens, when you do this, when you're actively participating in the seminar, your brain lights up and you make new connections. And the studies that I have seen says that you can increase your retention 24 hours after the workshop if you actively participate and ask questions either to yourself or to me, and you take notes, and that helps you use neuroplasticity to change your brain and for the better. All right, let's get going. What are the stroke signs? And the amazing thing about strokes is they can happen. The signs can be different for different stroke survivors. And maybe you feel a headache that's the worst you've ever had, and it happens suddenly, then seek medical help. Maybe you suddenly have difficulty walking or balancing. That tells you seek medical attention. Maybe you thought you were saying something perfectly normal, or you were typing up an email and you thought it was perfectly normal, and everybody thought you were drunk or slurred. That's the sign that you seek medical attention. And know that there are many ways that it can happen, but the important thing to remember is when it happens suddenly, then you want to seek medical attention immediately. All right. Back in the 1990s, British emergency physicians and their emergency ambulance drivers association got together and made this informatic, and and originally they used fast to mean what they were trying to get across to the population, but since then it's been expanded to make the acronym Be Fast, and this is now used worldwide to help prevent or help when people get a stroke that they seek help, medical help immediately. For the first is the balance. So I talked about that as a sign. The other thing you don't think about or you don't understand, suddenly if your eye, especially if one side of your vision um, is messed up, that's a problem, especially if it happened quickly. The third is F is for face, and that's when you look in the mirror and you see one of your side of your face is drooping. That's a problem. A is for arms. It's really for arms and legs, and that is one side you cannot. You're either weak or paralyzed. That's a problem. S is for speech, and speech either you can't hear, don't understand what people are saying to you, or you cannot get out words. That's the problem. And the last is T is for time. And when these signs occur, you have approximately 6 hours from the time when it happened, when you had a stroke, or when somebody has a stroke, till they get to the medical facility that can administer a injection in your vein, and it's a blood clot dissolver that goes to your brain and starts to get your clot. It starts to dissolve it, and many people that have this injection find that they a matter of hours or days can almost reverse the signs. It's really amazing. All right, now we're going to do the second, which is the facts about strokes. And 1 in 4, we can have a stroke. It's amazing when you think about it. My mom, who's still alive, she's 93. When she was 91, she had a mild stroke. And basically, it was happened on Labor Day. And the aides came in to check on her, and they found her lying on the floor. And they, of course, got her help to the hospital, and they found out she had a stroke. And thankfully, she quickly recovered, and she doesn't have any long-term disability because of the stroke. So in the United States of America, approximately 800,000 a year have a stroke. And that's about a 0.1% of people have a stroke every year. And approximately 650,000 of those live to go on and live life. Approximately 500,000 of them are disabled. They have something like I do. Either their speech is still a problem, or they don't understand what other people say to them, or there's a lot of ways that a stroke can disable you. And so it's really important to understand approximately every year, 500,000 can be disabled. And of there, worldwide, 110 million people are living with the after effects of a stroke. So they're disabled, but they're still alive, of course. It's a very real situation, and please heed it. All right. And most important, really, I need to underline, score, highlight 23 to 30%, depending on which study you look at, says that of the stroke survivors, they will have another stroke. And that's crazy. I was talking with a man who is a stroke survivor, and he survived 6 strokes. It's crazy. He was still walking. He had a cane, of course, and he had a lot of disabilities, but I'm grateful he still could tell about it. But I'm going to tell that if we use the 3 secrets, will reduce the risk of having another stroke. Or if the other 3 groups that are listening to this, they haven't had a stroke but are concerned about having a stroke. So listen to the nice thing about these 3 secrets. They all apply to everyone. All right. So how do you reach me, you may wonder? And you can reach me several ways. You can reach me at my website, which is thriveafterstroke.org, and Dr. DRBRENT. You can email me. You can get a hold of me on a platform, which is Be Connected. It's a great platform. And you can reach me on contacting me there, or Facebook, or Instagram. My business is called Thrive Recovery Solutions. So many different ways to get a hold of me. And it's really, I have to tell you, I'm very excited about this. I'm coming out this summer. I'm going, as part of my bigger mission to to stop blood clot strokes from ever happening. I'm writing a book, and it's called Stop Your Next Stroke. So it's important that I get this word out, and when people make changes, we'll see fewer strokes. That's what I want to have happen. All right, any more questions? I'm just going to check and make sure. I'm just making sure that that if there's any questions, I want to address them. All right. Let's talk about the third way that reason I put this workshop together, the 3 secrets to reduce the odds of having your next stroke or having a stroke. And the reason I selected this image was it's a ticking bomb, because if you don't heed them and don't do these things, you increase your odds of having a stroke or having the next stroke. So we'll talk with the first area, the first secret. It is this: if you have more stress, you increase the chances of stroke. But the secret I'll tell in a little bit is a tip I want you to do. So the reason that it increases your chance of a stroke, it increases your blood hormone, which is called cortisol, and it negatively impacts you, and it increases your inflammation, which leads to arterial plaques, are called, but hardening of the arteries, and one of those can break off and can become one of those blood clots that lodges in your brain, and you have a stroke. And Other issue is stress often leads to more unhealthy coping skills or habits, and we need to um, listen to this and start taking action to change our habits and get healthier um, coping skills. So let's look at the first tip. This is the first secret, and you find that maybe you listen to my secrets and you find out they're not really secrets, but the difference is if you don't do it, it is like a secret. So we're going to take um, if you would take 3 deep breaths, and a little bit I'm going to tell you about it, and you do that 3 times a day, you would reduce your cortisol, which means you would actively reduce your perception of stress. And you would be better because you would have fewer of the side effects from you'll be less inflamed and your body will be more calm. And that leads to better situations in your body and fewer strokes. So let's do this. Take the first breath. You're going to take the breath in through your nose. You're going to inhale and try to do take a deep breath and put your hand over your stomach, and you should feel it expand or get your hand will come out, come forward, and that means you're getting a deep belly breath, and that's so important because if you don't, if you just keep your breath in your chest, then it isn't really a deep breath. It's a shallow breath. So you take that and you go and feel your stomach expand, and then you're going to exhale and exhale through your mouth and basically do it like you have a straw in your mouth, and you're going to go. And you noticed I had my exhale be for several seconds, and instead of I'm going to try to expand or extend my exhale, because it's important when I took a deep breath in, you're going to need some time to exhale through your through the time. So ready? We're going to go inhale through our nose, and we're going to feel our stomachs get bigger, and then exhale. Exhale came out through my mouth, and the way I do that, it means it doesn't really matter when you if you do it through your mouth always. The reason I tell you, the body is designed to take in breath through your nose, so you can filter it, and you get cleaner air, and you get moisturized air when it comes in through your nose, because your mucous membranes in your nose, and they're called turbinates. They're circular, or it's amazing. There is a bunch of surface area, but it means more than when you breathe in through your mouth. The air gets a chance to, all of the particles hit your mucous membranes in your nose, and they stick, and the air continues on to your lungs. It's amazing. It's fascinating when you look at what the body is designed to do. So you do that 3 times a day, and so it's amazing how you can do this, because when you wake up and you just first come be aware of you're awake, take 3 deep breaths. And then sometime during the day, you remember, oh, yes, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. So you take your time, you maybe you're sitting down, you just um, still your mind and do those 3 deep breaths. And then when you're going to bed, right before you go to sleep, you remember, oh, yes, 3 deep breaths. And you inhale and exhale 3 times, and you've done it. And you do that, um, they say 21 days. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more for you. But when you do this regularly, you start a new habit. And the end result is that you did this first secret, you have lowered your stress level. Perfect. All right, let's talk about the second secret. Your blood pressure. Huh, my blood pressure. What is your blood pressure? Do you know? Um, Many people don't know their blood pressure. It's really important they know their blood pressure, because if they do, if it's normal, they can relax. If it's elevated, then they can do something about that. And it's measured in millimeters of mercury. And the American Heart Association does, many do this. They publicize the what they call the normal blood pressure, which is 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury. And the top number, which is when your heart contracts, it's the systolic, or the larger number. The bottom number is um, when the heart relaxes, um, it's diastolic, which means the pressure is less. So that's is how you can find the numbers. And when you do this and you find your norm, so anyways, let's talk about the secret two. The secret tip two. What's your blood pressure? There's 3 places where you can get your blood pressure readings. The first, you can call up on your favorite mail order place, and you can ask them to ship you a home blood pressure monitor. There's a picture there on the screen, and you can get that. It's really easy. It's fairly inexpensive, and you can use it whenever you want. And it's important not to have it, but to use it, and to use it regularly. Maybe you do it once a week or once a month, and you just check, because though it is ballpark, it tells you either you're normal or you're elevated. It's important to know that. The second way, you can go down to your big box um, place. It's like here in the United States, we have a grocery store. They also have a pharmacy, and so they have this. Or we can go down to our big box pharmacy place, and they also have one, and they have a machine, and it looks like basically a recliner. You can sit down, and they have something place where you stick your arm in, and what it is, it's kind of a blood pressure cuff, and you're in there, you put your arm in there, and they have a place where you rest your arm, and then you push a button, and then the machine makes noise, and you find that your arm is hugged and tightly, and then it's released, and then poof, there's your blood pressure. Then it is done, and you have your number. And it's important you know that, because if it's normal, you can relax, and if it's elevated, you can do something about it. All right. And the third place to get your blood pressure reading is go to your doctor's office and ask them, can you have your a blood pressure read, and they would have a nurse or assistant trained in how to do your blood pressure. They'll put you through the actions, and then they give you the number. So the reason it's important is if it is above 140 or 80, depending on the numbers, you can ask your doctor. No, I plead you to ask your doctor to please consider changes that she or he recommends this week. It's important that you do this because if you start addressing your elevation of your blood pressure, you stop risking having a stroke or another stroke. It's important. Please go get your blood pressure reading if you don't know what they are. And if it's elevated, seek help now. All right. And now for the third secret, move your body. Well, why do you move your body? It's because it's essential. They have shown about 5 or 6 years ago, they did a study, and they showed that there are a lot of people whose work had them sitting down, watching or working on a computer, and they found out if people sat for a long period of time each day, they were basically smoking a whole pack of cigarettes. They were having the risk was higher than if they were moving often. So the important thing to remember, we don't know how much movement you have to make to reduce your stroke, but if you're moving and it hurts or you don't like something, don't. You can always turn to your doctor. You can get help and use the physical therapy experts that are out, and you can ask them about what is the best way you can move safely and pain-free. So it's a really, really good to move often, and like, well, I'll tell you a little bit. All right, and when you move your body, have 4 goals. I have 4 goals, and which is to try to give myself more strength in my affected side, better balance, extra agility or mobility, and greater stamina or endurance. And why are those important? Well, because they all hit all the areas which were affected by the stroke. But I'll tell you what, they affect all of us. If we don't continually try to get our strength up, if we don't bother to challenge our balance, if we don't move our body in ways it isn't used to doing, and improve the agility, and we don't try to increase our stamina, then we basically are on the track, which is our old people have, and it leads to death. So it's important that you do this. So anyways, we'll look at the third step, the third secret, which is move your body. And it's really easy to do, to move your body. And I just put several ideas on here, but walking 15 minutes a day, take your dog, I do, or take a friend, a colleague, but just do it because when you do it every day, it helps you, and it is better to do it. You can use your stairs if you have a basement or upstairs, you have steps, and you can use those continually for 5 minutes. You get your heart rate up and you get your breathing rate up, but you move like this and it helps you. You can stretch your arms. Like I can do this and I will stretch. And I can go to one side and I can go to the other side. It just means I use my unaffected hand to hold my affected hand and stretch it. And that helps. So whether you're wheelchair bound or not, you can still do uh, stretching. So other ways, lift weights, dancing for one dance. It takes approximately, depending on the song, 3 to 5 minutes. It's exercise. And the last, I have a clip here, which I'm not going to show, but if you want it, I can get it to you. But it's a place where they practice chair exercises. So if you're wheelchair bound, no problem. It shows you how to move more. And as well, that has a soundtrack of Motown music, which everybody loves that. Well, most people love it. All right, all those things help us move more often, which is the third secret. So, and if you don't, see, to lower your risk can avoid your stroke. And if you don't change, it's basically the same as it was before you started this workshop. So this is where it's important, because I told you 3 ways you can add to your habits and you can reduce the odds of having another stroke. And remember, it's if you do nothing, a quarter to a third of you will have another stroke. So you want a goal, make changes, and you will have the results which are desired and desired for me. All right. All right. I'll give you your gift. And there's a lot of ways you can tell me that you want me. You can either DM or direct message me by Be Connected, Facebook or Instagram. Worldwide, you can do that. Or if you're in the United States or Canada, you can text me and you give me your phone number and text it to 248-780-9590. That's I'll give it to you one more time. 248-780-9590, and I'll get your text and I will get it right out to you. All right. Perfect. Any more questions? We'll just check and see if there's anyone else. All right. Quiet, but I want to tell you, there's 3 buttons on the left side if you're listening to this or looking at the replay on Be Connected. It's really fascinating. These 3 buttons are active. The top one, if you want to join Be Connected, you can click there and it tells you how to do that. In the middle, which I'm going to give you an invitation in a little bit, it's down there. And the bottom, if you click on that, you will be taken to Facebook to my group and you can join me. And I love that. So those are some ideas. So let me ask you some questions. How many of you feel overwhelmed because we've covered so much? I it can be that can be a natural reaction. Others others will look at it and say, um, um, "Oh, you're so excited about what I talked about. You talked about, or you thought about, hmm, you will uh, um, integrate these three tips, these three secrets into your um, habits, and that's good. And but whether you are, I want to invite you to come be part of my program. And my program consists of four parts. The first is the Stroke Survivor First Aid Kit. It's a course, and it's a written materials, and it goes through four areas. It talks about your mindset or attitude. That's the first area. The second is the physical arena. That talks about lots of things with the physical um, arena. Things like your breath, your water intake, your food, your exercise, your movement. And then the third area is the emotional area. That talks about um, what do you have to do to combat depression, anxiety, worries, um, and take yourself to a new level of positivity. And the fourth is the mental skills. And those are so important to do that. Um, and I'll just tell you a case study, which is me. And I found um, when I had the strokes, and I realized I attempted to go back and work. First, I was doing it part time, and then it was pretty clear to myself and everybody else at the hospital, we're a veterinary hospital, and my senior partner and I decided I was going to retire. And then the next 10 years, I focused on my physical arena. And when I did, I learned there was a lot of things that I was doing that was wrong, that was hurting me. And I changed my lifestyles, and I'm better for it. And I hope you will take my heed, take my advice, and do something that's healthier for you. So, the third part of my program is 6 videos of questions and answers I recorded on stroke recovery. And now I've incorporated them into my podcast, which is called Stroke Folk Show, every Thursday night or evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a great way. If I don't have guests, I will talk about what are common questions I have heard or have been asked about stroke recovery. And the last is the stroke recovery checklist. And that is a series of questions that walk you through areas of the stroke recovery and ask you questions, and you score yourself, and then you can use that because you have recorded your status, and then you can compare in 1 month or 3 months or 6 months, and you can do it again. You can perform the checklist again and compare yourself and see if you're getting better, you're staying the same, or you're getting worse. And that's important to know, whatever your direction you're in different areas. So that's it. That's 4 parts of the program, and the total value to you would be $738. That's right. The Stroke Survivor First Aid Kit is $197. The video sessions of the 4 key areas, which I go in depth, I use, I do that every month, and I charge $97. And so that's $297 is there. And then the 6 sessions of question and answers is worth $197. And the stroke recovery checklist is available on my website, and that's $47. So that's why you get the total value of $738. And I want you to understand, I'm taking the risk. I want to guarantee that you will be satisfied with the program. And I guarantee it to you. You can try it and decide it later for 90 days. So you can go through my material and at my risk, not yours. And you can decide, is it worth the money? Is it worth for you? And can you use it? That's an important thing, because if you get it and you don't really use it, it isn't helpful for me or you. And I want you to take the material, put it to work, and be healthier because of that. All right. But I'm going to charge you $67 for this $738 of value. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I want to bribe you. Yes, I'm going to bribe you because I want you to get this material in your hands and start taking action, because when you do, you'll be better for it, and the risk of strokes will go down until eventually we'll all say it was a thing of the past. That's what I want. So it's important. So remember, $67 is all I ask. And to do this, you can either take a picture of the QR code, or you can go to tinyurl.com/SFFAK-bundle. Or you can also get it by going to, that's what you want to do. And you get you be taken to the screen where you can ask your information, and you get it. It's digitally available, so as soon as you complete the actions, you'll get access to it right away. So it's important to do it. All right. I'm going to show you some other people. Victoria McRae is a weight loss coach, and she says, I give you these testimonials just to help you understand other people have taken the path that you are deciding about, and they have found that it was helpful for them. So she said, I think as seniors, it's our responsibility to do all we can do to have healthy longevity, and Brent's content was valuable to my toolkit. It's important to do that. The next we're going to share is here. Lucy Rosastagi is a business mentor for senior entrepreneurial women, and she said, I'm going to give you a video clip of her.
Brent is a survivor of 2 strokes himself, and he has dedicated the rest of his life to help people know the symptoms and know how to prevent either your next stroke or even a stroke for the first time.
So you can see lots of people have found it helpful, and I hope that you will also find it helpful by taking your action and click on the buttons over on the middle of my screen if you're on Be Connected or on the Facebook and YouTube. Um, please, you can do that. It's important for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. So, and if you're one of the first five people that decide to have this, to get this program, throw in the simple stroke recovery plan, and I'll get with you by phone or by computer, and we'll talk how to use your stroke recovery checklist for yourself. And this deadline, excuse me, it's a wrong typo. Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, you need to decide. That's it. I only ask you to, if you think you could or feel you could be benefited by this program, take the action, enroll, and you have 90 days to decide it was worth it. And if you don't, if you just decide that you're not interested, that's fine. It's just a matter that you decide. All right. So here it is for the last bit, and I'll let you have this here to snap a photo of the QR code, or open your bundle and open your browser and put in type in the characters of tinyurl.com/ssfak hyphen bundle, and or if you're on Be Connected, push your button for the middle button, and you can have the my program. All right, and most of all, remember, to your success.